Make your point on the News Hour. Join Arnab every night on the News Hour with your question. Ask your question and join the debate.
Now, the UNHCR will, in a historic vote, seek to establish the first UN independent expert on sexual orientation and gender identity. Now, even as a fresh petition against Section 377 was not admitted by the Supreme Court yesterday, this opportunity comes as another test for India to perhaps be able to set the record straight as far as its own stand is concerned.
What has been the record of India in voting at the Human Rights Council or at the UN General Assembly on questions of sexual orientation and gender identity? In the time of the Congress government, at the General Assembly, India voted to include the term sexual orientation in a resolution on extrajudicial executions, which is a positive thing. When it came to the Modi government, within 3-4 months of the Modi government coming to power, the Human Rights Council had to vote on the question of a resolution again on sexual orientation and gender identity. And the government in this case abstained. But in 2015, after the government was in power for some time, there's another vote on the entire question of should the question of partnership benefits be extended to same-sex couples. And in this case, the government voted against. And voted against along with Russia, Egypt, Pakistan, and the rest of the countries which are opposed to the opening out of LGBT rights at the UN level. So really, if you look at this question, it really hangs in the balance.
India has voted in favor of inclusion of sexual orientation and gender identity, but then that happened not in the United Nations Human Rights Council, rather that happened in another section. But then when he's talking about violence against LGBT community or violence against people who are gender and sexual minority, India has always abstained. I don't know the reason. They have shown the cases against Section 377 as a smokescreen behind which they can hide. We don't know the reason behind it. Maybe India doesn't want to show that the sexual and gender minority are being tortured in India as well. So that could be one of the reasons. But India actually, when in the year of 2011 and 2013, India actually voted in favor of inclusion of sexual orientation and gender identity actually.